Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, a lot of people would accuse him of talking out of both sides of his mouth, but a lot of people will be grossly mistaken. This guy speaks to the singularity of a subject matter devoid of any emotional leanings. Guys, I bring you this. You can't arrest Igboho if you spared others who issued quit notices, Falana tells the police. So Femi Falana, of course, a video or two ago, I was saying how he had backed the Fulanis to say that nobody has the right to tell them to quit any part of Nigeria, especially if they have been resident in that place for 10 years or longer, which then automatically confers indigene status on them. So they are effectively indigenous to that space, haven't lived there for 10 years was the point that he was making in that video, when he then encouraged the Fulanis to take to law to assert their rights. So a lot of people, of course, were very quick to come and throw all manners of invectives at the SAN. But here he is again, taking a different tack. You can't arrest Igboho if you spared others who issued quit notices, Falana tells police. So now let's now see what the SAN is up to this time around. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has warned the Nigeria police force not to arrest popular Yoruba rights activist Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho. I urge the police not to venture to arrest Mr. Sunday Igboho because in this same country, when others issued quit notices to other nationalities in the past, they were not arrested, Falana said on Friday. The presidency has said the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, ordered the arrest of Igboho for giving Fulani headsmen accused of perpetrating sundry crimes in Oyo State an ultimatum to exit the state. At the expiration of the 7 days ultimatum, Igboho residents in Ibrapa area of the state, emboldened by Igboho's presence, had ejected the Seriki Fulani, Abdul Kadir Saliu, and his herders out of the rustic town. But Falana said there is no way the police can choose who to arrest in this nature. According to him, Almajiris have been deported, beggars have been deported, the poor and destitute have been deported, and the government never raised any issues. Falana, who had earlier said Igboho had no right to issue the vacation order to the herders, said his position on such matters has been consistent, adding that he has spoken against persons who issued quit notices to non-indigenes in the past. The rights lawyer said he does not support jungle justice, but citizens must not take law into their hands. The government has failed the people, but the people can mobilize to make the government alive to its responsibility of protecting lives and properties, he said, adding it has got to that stage when every community has to organize its security because we can no longer depend on the government. Sunday Igboho cannot be arrested because others who gave quit notices in the past were not arrested. In fact, when somebody gave a quit notice to the Igbo people in the north, a governor ordered the arrest of the person, but the police never arrested him, Falana maintained. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Femi Falana for you, shooting from both sides of the hip as he often does, and a lot of people may misconstrue, and this article indeed does make the point that it was this same Falana that was insisting that the Fulanis had the right to occupy that space. But really what Falana tries to speak to is matters of law and matters of equity. So oftentimes when you hear him speak, he is not really speaking in favor of anybody, but he is speaking on what he perceives to be right, and more importantly, what he understands the law to be on that particular subject matter. So consistent he has always been, and consistent he still is, because when he said that the Fulanis cannot be forced out of Oyo State. He is absolutely right. They cannot be forced if they are legally there. If they are illegally on somebody else's land, then of course they can be forced out, and I'm sure nobody is stupid enough to imagine that that is what Falana is saying. But what he is saying is that if they are legally resident there and they are legally engaged, then you cannot force them out wholesale just because of the crimes of a few miscreants in their midst. So what he is saying is that those miscreants in their midst should be identified and dealt with according to whichever law applies, but the generality, not a wholesale then getting rid of the Fulanis. And if they do try to force the Fulanis who are legitimately in any space within the Nigerian space out, then those Fulanis are well within rights to take to law. And there's absolutely no faulting of that logic, and there is no faulting of the logic that is now presenting in this instance. And the logic that is now presenting in this instance is not at all contrary to the logic that he presented previously, because what he is saying now is that you cannot order the arrest of Sunday Igboho when countless examples of this same thing that you are accusing Sunday Igboho of has been done severally and relentlessly within the northern areas, and not a single person has been even visited, never mind arrested. It is Buhari that is ordering the arrest of this guy, but even when, but rather when the Fulanis are giving quick notices to the Igbos and the Southerners in the northern region, Buhari doesn't even comment, never mind ordering the arrest of anybody. So you cannot arbitrarily apply the law and apply it along sectarian lines. It's effectively what Falana is saying, because the country, of course, especially recent times from 2015 till date, the country is replete with examples of these quit notices coming out of the northern quarters, essentially against the Igbos, but really against all Southerners, and really against everybody and anybody that is not of their faith. So now these people do these things and nobody says a single thing, and if somebody does speak, it is only to beg them to calm down and probably give them a word of money to soothe their nerves. But then when the Southerners do the exact same thing that is copiously and endlessly done in the north, immediately the president, the #1 office, you remember when this joker came into power, he said it was for everybody and for nobody. But then, of course, I don't think even he will be disingenuous enough to repeat that statement now, because it's clearly and wholly a Fulani president and nothing else. So now you cannot have that be the case, that we have all these things coming out of the north, and then when a southerner then reciprocates and repeats exactly identical what was done in the north, then the weight of the whole structure of the Nigerian state, because if you are talking the weight of the whole structure of the Nigerian state, the president is cascading down to the Inspector General of Police, who is cascading down to the Commissioner of Police of your state to weigh down upon this guy for asking the president's Clansmen to stop killing his own people. This is the ludicrousness and the ridiculousness now that we're contending with within the Nigerian space, and you are asking that there should be progress in the country. How can there be progress in the country when you're saying the value of the life of a cow is greater than the value of the life of a Yoruba man, which is effectively what Malam Buhari is telling us? Because if we accept what is being proposed now, then the enslavement of the Yoruba race has now completely been perfected now, because if they weigh more value on the life of a farm animal than the life of a Yoruba person, then your worst animalu is effectively what Buhari will have you have be the case. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section, but before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray, bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video, click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, Falana is consistent, and his consistency is with equity and balance. Come share thoughts about the SAN with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.